Knockout legends in the building. Like, comment, and subscribe. So I just watched the main event of the Four Crown Showdown, and it was absolutely spectacular. The first thing I need to mention is that basically the pre-show with the artists, it actually took me back to the 90s and depict a good selection of artists, American artists. Now, Sierra, we've not seen Sierra for a while, but her performance was excellent. 1-2 Step, um, all of her other hits, over bangers. The choreography was brilliant. The lights, the stage setup, everything was just spectacular. It was marvelous. It was actually like being at a concert. What I watched, it was really, really good. And the choice selection of artists with Sierra and then Busta Rhymes and then Missy Elliott, it kind of encompasses that era of hip hop where you had the dance feel to it and the party aspect and the creative vision of MTV videos and the music videos. I kind of miss that with that type of music with hip hop, and it's weird watching it like as a preamble for a boxing event. But the Saudis have outdone themselves by doing this because it's like all three artists combined kind of encompass a good kind of feeling, which is I think what they wanted to set the stage for this event. And it worked. It worked because when Missy came on, Missy stole the show. Missy, I flipping heck, I forgot how good Missy really is. I don't even really even want to talk too much about the tracks that they performed and the actual selection of music. It's more so you're probably better off watching the actual Four King Showdown. You can watch it on Turkey Al Sheik's YouTube channel, and you can watch everything basically. But the actual combination at the end where Sierra came on for the Missy song and kind of stole the show and did her part just shows you what I was talking about with the feeling of that era of music. But anyway, if you get the chance to watch it, watch it. So obviously the promo got played, and then obviously the main event started, which was actually the Four King Showdown. So Beterbiev came in first, then Bivol came in. Once the national anthems had been sung, then they got down to business. Now the first round, it was a touching out process, and it was the battle of the jabs. At first, Beterbiev took centre stage of the ring, and he controlled the centre stage, forcing Bivol back out. Bivol was using his reach and his jab, staying on the outside just a little bit, but throwing back just enough to let Beterbiev know he was there. Beterbiev was coming forward, double jab, tucking up. Bivol moving and throwing the jab, and it was just the battle of the jab for like half of the round. Then after that, it sort of caught a little bit of a tinderbox where Bivol threw a 1-2, got Beterbiev, tagged him, and then I think Beterbiev tried to throw back and then got caught again. But he backed off a little bit, Beterbiev, and Bivol kind of moved forward with a double jab and then started like throwing a jab and then going to the body. And then just as the round was about to end, it kind of caught fire for a second where Beterbiev let go and he threw a 1-2, but it was a hard right what he threw, and it pushed Bivol back, and Bivol straight away, I don't know what it was, it must have been a pride thing, he felt the punch, but he threw back straight away and countered with a 1-2 of his own and tried to force Beterbiev back. But then the round ended, so it was like, ooh, what would have happened if the round would have carried on for another minute? Someone might have got hurt. You could see the actual scrap about to take place, so it sets up the stage for the next round. So after the first round ended and they went back to the corners, I think Berterbiev's cornerman was just telling him to keep throwing certain shots, but not to throw another shot because you'll be expecting it. It's like the overhand, it's like an overhand right sort of, but it becomes like a sort of like a straight right, but like a looping straight right. But anyway, they come out for the second round and Artur Beterbiev is kind of applying the pressure now. He's cutting off the ring, so Bivol's backing off, but he's throwing his jabs. In that round, that's the most jabs that an opponent's landed on Beterbiev in any fight that he's had, in the last 20 fights that he's had. He's got a 20 win ratio, and basically it's a knockout ratio, so he's probably the best at the moment world champion that's undefeated and basically 100% knockout ratio. But anyway, Bivol still moves, he's throwing his jab and he's backing off, but Beterbiev is coming forward, double jabs, applying pressure, having a little bit of success pushing forward, but not so much hitting Bivol. Bivol's moving and a lot of the shots are hitting his gloves, but Bivol counters and throws 1-2s and catches Beterbiev slightly, but a lot of the shots get caught in the gloves. So Beterbiev is kind of applying more pressure, chasing Bivol around the ring, and Bivol still moving. So there probably is not as much action as there was in the first round. Coming into the end of the second round, more of a kind of cat and mouse. Beterbiev trying to apply pressure so he can get close to hurt Bivol, and Bivol moving away, giving himself room so he can counter, and that ends round 2. So they go back to the corners and Bivol is getting instruction from his corner. I think his father is in his corner because I think he hears one of the assists, Yuri Bivol. But anyway, they come out for round 3, and this is up to now probably the best round that I've saw of both men. Beterbiev starts off pretty fast. He comes out, applies pressure, double jabbing, pushing Bivol back. Bivol's moving back. He's fighting on the back foot with a jab, trying to counter. But for the first minute of this round, it's definitely a Beterbiev round, and he's just applying pressure, throwing the double jab. He's actually come out a lot quicker than the first 2 rounds. But anyway, in the second minute, Bivol starts to fire back with shots, and he fires 1, 2, 3, and he hurts Beterbiev, and Berterbiev's face is reddened up, and you can see he actually could feel the shot, so he backs off. It's sort of like the Anti-Yard fight where Anti-Yard unleashed on him, and you could see the shots hurt Beterbiev, but because he's so fripping tough, the guy just takes the shot, backs up, composes himself, puts his guard up, and then starts throwing a jab like nothing happened. So a lot of psychological warfare going on in there, and he knows how to take a shot. But Bivol straight away after that doesn't rush on or jump on him. He just resets, takes control of the centre of the ring, and throws a jab, double jab, and obviously a right hook. And then he switches it up with a double jab and a straight right. So he's establishing his rhythm. And in this point now, in the last minute, Artur comes back again and starts throwing double jab, right hook, and he has a little bit of success and catches Bivol, but Bivol decides to throw back with a right hook, and then throws a double jab and a right hook, and then it catches fire for the last 30 seconds of that round, and they starts throwing shots at each other, slugging it out. The referee breaks them up, then the round ends again. So just as it's about to get spicy, the round ends. But it's interesting because in a way they are actually evenly matched in the styles, because even though Bivol moves on the back foot, he's good at counter punching and catching Beterbiev, and the same thing as well. Even though Beterbiev comes forward and applies pressure, he's good at applying pressure and catching you with shots when you're on the defensive. So in a sense, they're both nullifying each other at the moment, but the rounds are ending before we can actually see who can like exploit the other person's weakness to actually gain an advantage. But as the fight goes on, we'll probably see a little bit more of who is the better fighter or better boxer out of the two, IQ wise, to actually implement their game plan. As they come out for the fourth round, this is one of the commentators says on the scorecards it has Bivol winning all rounds, and I'm like, okay, whatever. But anyway, Beterbiev comes out, pressure again, double jab again, cutting off the ring again, and he's controlling the pace and the action, and a lot of the shots are hitting the gloves, and Bivol's moving and circling around the ring and moving on the outside. But then Bivol throws a jab, like a throwaway jab, and then he throws a right hook and a left hook, which in a brilliant combination, and you can tell it's hit flush, but no effect to Beterbiev. He just carries on, comes forward, starts throwing jabs, double jabs, and just keeps pushing Bivol back. Now the action kind of lulls in this round, and it's just more of the same, and Beterbiev is controlling the round, controlling the pace, controlling the action, pushing Bivol back, and he's just throwing 1-2s, but in a languid kind of long range way. But he's catching, but a lot of them shots are kind of catching the gloves, but he's probably trying to break Bivol down and pressure Bivol, and you can see it's working because obviously Bivol's just moving, he's not staying still, he's not a stationary target. Now I definitely would give this round to Beterbiev, and I think he won the last round as well. But anyway, so round 5 comes up, and this time Bivol holds his ground, he has his guard up, he's in the middle of the ring, he's not getting pushed back, he's holding centre stage, and Beterbiev's throwing his jabs. A lot of arm punching here, not really a lot of power punching with the jabs. More of a feeling out process, just touching, getting the distance and feeling the range. Bivol just standing there, seeing what he can do, covering up and pushing back Beterbiev. Then as the halfway point of the round comes through, Bivol moves back and gets pushed back by Artur's relentless pressure and his jabs. In this last minute of this round, Artur has more success throwing double jabs and rights and starts teeing off, and you can see the difference in power based off the impact and the body language of both fighters, because as Bivol feels the punches, he moves back and he circles, and you can tell the hurting. I remember doing a video on predictions for this fight, and I was with Beterbiev, and Lonnie B was one of his sparring partners, and he said that Artur hits really hard. You can actually see it when he's connecting with the shot, especially the right when he throws it, because he throws like a double jab and then like a straight right, then he throws a double jab and then a right hook, and then he throws a double jab and a right hook to the body as well. And when he connects, you can see like it actually hurts Bivol because Bivol's moving, but he's having to be smart and not engage too much so he doesn't get caught with any shots. But as the last 30 seconds of the round comes, he goes through another flurry of these double jabs and right crosses and double jabs and right hooks to the body, and they actually hurt him. And you can see he's deciding what he should or shouldn't do, whether he should try and counter as he comes in close or should he stay away. But he circles away, dances out, and one of the commentators says he should actually try and hold if he can, because obviously he's been hurt. You can see he's been hurt, but he's trying to recover on his feet and move. And the round ends, so he's saved again by the ending of the round. But it was a good round that, but definitely Beterbiev round that, and it's starting to tell. The actual strength and power is coming from Artur, because he's got that power. So whatever Bivol throws back, he can take, but it's more of a case of telling shots of coming from Artur, because Artur knows how to apply pressure and knows how to push you back and knows how to set up his combinations when you're in range, especially when you make a mistake. The thing is with Bivol, because Bivol can't really stay in the middle with Beterbiev, he knows he has to move. He can't really plant his feet as much, so some of the shots, even if he is hitting, they're probably not as powerful as Artur's, because Artur plants his feet and he's willing to take shots, but he's also willing to cover up when he's applying pressure. So he's pretty smart with the way he applies pressure, because he will take the one odd shot, but he will cover up and actually negate a lot of the shots on his gloves. So when Bivol does hit him, because Bivol's off stance or not really flat-footed, he's not applying as much power or pressure as Beterbiev, so that ends that round. So as I come out for this round, round 6, it's a little bit different this time. Beterbiev is pushing forward, and Artur's on, and Bivol is on the back foot. Bivol's just, I'm gonna say surviving, but he's not engaging. He's just backing off. I think the shots of Beterbiev are telling, and basically he feels the power, like I was saying before in about the last round. So I won't say survival mode. He's trying to probably look for a way to get in to throw his counter punches, but he's not really doing much. Beterbiev's just pushing forward, double jab, throwing the right cross when he can, and basically applying a lot of pressure. And as he's applying the pressure, Bivol's moving and looking for a chance to counter with that combination that he threw before, with a right hook and then a left hook, but he's not having any success. He does have a little bit of success as the round's about to end, and you can tell he can't hold the centre of the ring, and the shots are starting to tell. Obviously he's catching a lot of the shots on his gloves, but the power, the actual pressure and power is starting to tell. So that round definitely Beterbiev round. So they come out for round 7, and this time Bivol is holding his ground and he's not being pushed back. He's throwing his double jab, and Artur is backing up slightly and he's trying to push forward, but Bivol's not allowing. So it's a kind of culmination of the round before the last round, I think the 5th round. And I think what happened in the last round, Bivol may be a little bit tired, so now that he's got his wind back, he's not backing up. So Bivol is taking centre of the ring and taking whatever jabs that Artur's throwing and then trying to counter. Now, for the first minute or so, I would say Bivol's got a slight advantage, because Artur's just pouring and throwing arm jabs, double jabbing, and just seeing if he can find a way in, but he's backing off slightly as well. Thing to note that's interesting is his corner were giving him a bit of a pep talk in between the round. Beterbiev saying he's not tired and he can win this, and like whenever he hits Bivol, the crowd know that he's hurt him, you know, based off the way his body actions are and the way he backs off. But anyway, Bivol throws some excellent combinations. He throws a jab, right hook, left hook, right hook, and it stuns Beterbiev as he reels back, and you can tell Beterbiev's hurt. So straight away Bivol tries to throw another 1-2 automatically as that punch gets thrown. Artur throws back a double jab and then a right hook, and he actually manages to hurt Bivol. As he was hurt, he just took the shot. It's more of I think a stun, like he's surprised by the actual power that Bivol has and that he's been caught. But he just calms himself and then throws that combination back. Straight away Bivol's on the back foot, he's moving, he's gone, he's running away. And like, it's weird because up until that exchange, I would say Bivol probably was winning that part of the round, but straight away as Artur's done that, he's took straight control of the round and took control of the remaining minute of the round and just bullied Bivol all the way back into the corner. And Bivol's just covering up, he's not doing anything, he's just trying to survive the storm. So it's weird, they both kind of cancel each other out based off the style, like I was saying before. And because Bivol's very defensive and knows what to do to be defensive, not to get knocked out, he's not really, even when he is in trouble, he's not, because he knows how to get out of trouble. The thing is what I've noticed with Beterbiev, if he meets somebody that can follow up with those combinations when they hurt him and manage to actually take his shots and carry on, he may actually become a cropper. Because up to now, I think a lot of it is his durability as well as his composure and his power and pressure. That's why he overcomes his other opponents. But I think the thing what Bivol's doing is intelligent by not engaging when he can feel the power and knows that he may be in trouble and be overwhelmed and save energy as well. So just backing off and defending. So the round ends, and I'll just say slightly based off the end of that performance where he's just attacking Bivol and Bivol's not really doing anything. Beterbiev just slightly steals the round. Bivol would have took the round, but because obviously once he got hit by Artur's shots when he countered him because he hurt him, he backed up and didn't do anything, and Bivol just teed off on him. He was throwing uppercuts and hooks and trying to break him down and try to like break his guard and just bullied him. So he stole the round. So round 8 comes up, and it's both men are in the middle, and Bivol is there, but he slightly pushes back, just slightly, a little bit, just moves back, but he's got his guard up. Artur's throwing his jab and touching, trying to set up a combination, and Bivol just throws the odd jab when he can. He moves back slightly, but not much. But Artur actually does something very clever. He does a little step, and it makes Bivol have to reset and move his body. And by doing that, he can throw the jab and keep touching Bivol. And for the first 2 minutes, this is how the fight is. Bivol's not really moving back as such. You might back up a slight little bit, but he's in range. So they're both in range to throw shots, but he's not throwing that much because he's blocking, because he's aware that if he throws a shot, he may get countered. Now this carries on for 2 minutes of the fight. Then coming into the last 30 seconds of the round, it's weird. Bivol tries to steal the round, and his combination, what he threw, are really, really good. He throws a counter, right hook, left hook again, and then starts unleashing 1-2s as well. And he kind of steals that last 30 seconds of the round. But as he does that, straight away Artur reacts and starts throwing shots of his own. And then he gets a bit scrappy. But out of that exchange for that 30 second, I'd say Bivol got the better of that. The only thing is if he could have just done that for maybe a minute or so, I wouldn't say he'd steal the round, but he probably would have a good chance of stealing the round, because most of that round was just Beterbiev throwing the jab and pushing him back, but he wasn't really connecting, he was just hitting the gloves. So, I'd give that still to Beterbiev because he did more work. But that last 30 seconds, if it had been a minute, you could have probably had the argument that Bivol took that round just through the work, what he did, and the connection rate. But it was 30 seconds, so it's not really enough. And then I wouldn't even say he's probably 30 seconds, say probably 20. But anyway, good round from Bivol to come back into that round. But Art was doing most of the work. Round 9 and they come out. Art is throwing his jab and just backing Bivol up slowly, but Bivol's still in the middle of the ring. What happens in this round is probably Bivol's best round. You see a masterclass of boxing. So what Bivol does is, in spurts, he throws a 1-2 and then a 1-2-3. Then he goes up with a jab, then a straight right to the body, and then up again with a jab to the head. And this is permeated through the whole round, where he's just throwing off flurries and he's having success. The thing is with Beterbiev, he doesn't get perturbed when he gets hit. You can tell he's hurt and his face goes red, but his composure is so intense and so calm under the pressure. It's like he's not hurt, but he's hurt. You can see it, like, because the shots are hard shots and they're not like just one big shot. It's like a combination of shots. So when the combination hit, you can see, but straight away he keeps his calm, then he puts his guard back up, and then he pushes forward with a double jab, and then he tries to tee off himself if he can, but he doesn't have that much success in this round because Bivol's just constantly moving while he's doing what he's doing. This is actually the, how can I put it, the Bivol that we saw in the Canelo fight when Canelo tried to press. Bivol would just fight on the back foot and just do pepper Canelo with shots. This is what we're seeing. But in that fight, at one point, what ended up happening is, because he was the bigger guy, he took the fight to Canelo and just pressed Canelo and bullied him basically. He does that in spurts with Artur, but he backs off because he respects Artur's power, so he knows he can't be too greedy. But the tactic works, just peppering him and then stepping back and moving, peppering him, stepping back and moving. Last 25 seconds of the round, Artur starts to come back and throw shots, but at this point, he's having a little success, but it's still all Bivol this round, so it's Bivol's round definitely. So 10th round, Artur comes out, touches, so he throws a jab, then he'll touch, and then he'll double jab and throw a right. Sometimes he'll jab, feint, then double jab, and then a right. And this is probably the whole premonition of that round, where Artur takes over again and Bivol sort of steps back, but he's not actually backing off Bivol. He is in the middle of the ring, but what ends up happening is, because he's not actually pressing forward in the sense that he's attacking, he's waiting to counter. Beterbiev has to reset and find another angle. So in a sense, Beterbiev's on the outside, even though he's trying to attack Artur, but he has to keep resetting and moving and sidestepping to like get another angle to throw shots. He has a little bit of success, but like a lot of the shots go on the gloves. But we see the best work in the round again from Bivol, where he throws that trademark rear right hook and then left hook, and it comes out of nowhere because you think it's going to be a straight right, but he disguises it and then throws it as a right hook, and then bam, with the left, and he catches Artur all the time. So Artur gets stunned, and then he starts teeing off hooks, right hook, left hook, right hook, left hook, right hook, and he's just throwing these shots. Then he closes back up again. Artur starts to get a bit agitated, starts coming back at him, starts stalking him. So Bivol moves back, last 20-30 seconds of the round. Beterbiev's just throwing shots with aggression and power, double jabbing and right crossing, double jabbing and hooking, so he's trying to break Bivol down. Bivol just shells up, takes the shots. You can tell the powerful shots because he's not throwing anything back, and then the round ends. So that little flurry what Bivol had stole quite a lot of elements of the round, but again, it's only that little bit of time in the fight. All of the work is being done by Beterbiev, and still at the end he come on strong. So I still would give that round to Beterbiev. If Bivol had done a little bit more in that round, apart from the flurry, but which was probably the best, cleanest punches in that round that hit, then he probably would have won that round. But it's definitely a Beterbiev round, just for the sheer work rate and actually, aggression and pushing forward. So round 11 comes up, and just a little side note, in the corner, his Beterbiev's corner told him he needs to knock Bivol out to win the fight, because I think they're a bit worried. That's what the translators translated. But anyway, they come out and it's more of the same, where Art is pressing forward, touching, double jabbing, touching, throwing straight right, and backing Bivol up. But this time Bivol's not really standing in the pocket, he's backing up and moving. So he's backing up and moving, but you can tell he's a bit tired in this round. Them little throws probably take a lot out of him, and then obviously moving and shelling up, it's a lot of pressure, because Art just pressures you, and I think mentally that he's draining that pressure, where he just on you forward, relentless on you, side stepping and as attacking on you. It's like the Terminator, the guy just doesn't stop no matter what you throw at him, But anyway, the round kind of progresses the way the rounds do when Bivol's had his little flurries and had his ways. It's like he's either waiting to counter, or he's just being that cautious that he doesn't want to get hit anymore, or even the chance of him getting knocked out. But in this round, he does have a little bit of success and counters and throws a couple of shots back, but the rest of the round, it's just Beterbiev. Beterbiev just coming forward, throwing shots with aggression, trying to break the guard down, and just attacking Bivol, and just throwing a lot of shots. And some of the shots, even though he's got his guard up, you can tell it's taking its toll. He looks tired, and he's just chasing him around the ring and beating him, and he's trying to beat that guard down. At one point, Bivol holds and then goes for another sustained attack by Artur, where he's just double jabbing and throwing the right and just beating him into submission. Then just as the round's about to end, he gets another sustained beating, and we thought he might actually take out Bivol. The round ends, so Bivol survives. 12th and final round now. Both come out, touch gloves. So Bivol backs off and tries to hold his ground. Artur comes out, double jab, right cross, touch, double jab, feint, and the round is more in favour of Artur. Artur pushes forward, does what he always does, but in spots, Bivol holds the ground, holds his line, and puts his guard up and throws back a few counters. So he throws back at rear right hand, like a straight right, and then tries to throw a left hook. He has a little bit of success, but a lot of the work gets smothered because Artur's just coming forward with aggression. I think Artur actually wants to knock him out, because he's throwing a lot of shots with power and authority and aggression, and he's throwing a lot of combinations as well. A lot of them are hitting the gloves, but some are sneaking through. So as we're into the second minute of the last round, Bivol's more or less moving. He's running, he's taking sustained attacks, and he has to move. He's moving. Artur's just pressuring him, following him. Artur
throws some shots and tries to pressure, but Bivol comes back with a counter and then grabs and holds, and it breaks up the action. But again, coming into the last minute, Artur's pressuring Bivol, then Bivol throws back a few shots. Then it gets a bit scrappy where they're both throwing shots and catching each other, and it's a case of countering each other. Last 30 seconds, still countering each other, getting scrappy. Then the round ends, so it ends, and then it goes to the scorecards. So the decisions come up, and the Spanish referee gives it 114-114. Glenn Philman scores it 115-112. And I think the Polish official scores it 116-112, and Artur Beterbiev wins. Now, I did a prediction on this fight a long time back on another video, talking about Lonnie B, sparring partner of Artur Beterbiev, and he gave his prediction that Artur would win, and I actually concurred with that. And like leading up to this fight, I've give several of my opinions that it was Artur that was going to win. Now, a lot of people may think Bivol did enough to win the fight with the cleaner shots and with the boxing and the moving, but the thing is that's telling in this fight that got me actually knowing that Artur was going to win or would have won, is that there was a couple of times where Artur could have knocked Bivol out, and the only reason Bivol survived is because he held on, he shelled up and he moved back, and he didn't really engage when he should have engaged. He only engaged when he could. So he had to be switched on all the time, whereas Beterbiev wasn't really perturbed or worried, because even when he did get hit with shots, and there were good shots because you could tell it hurt him, and his face was red, he could just take him. I don't know what it is with this guy. Like, these guys are just a different breed. It's just tough, man. It's like that training in the snow, like Rocky, where, you know, Rocky's running in the snow and it's Siberia. Man are just tough, you know. But anyway, what are your thoughts on the fight? Who do you think actually won it? Do you think it was the right result, or do you think Bivol should have won? Leave your thoughts in the comment section. Like, comment and subscribe. And that is another one from the one and only Knockout Legends. Peace.